Hey, this is Stone Jordan. Listen, what I'm going to talk to you about today can literally save you years on your life, can add years to your life, and we can do that in the course of 1 week. So I made the decision years ago to buy an iPod, and I have lots of iPods. I use them whenever I ride my bike, work out, mow the lawn, lots of different things. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to save some money, I'm going to buy a used iPod. Now, if you've ever made this fatal mistake, you realize when you get it home and you try to boot this thing up, it seems like it takes forever to boot the thing up. Now, that's because as iPods have matured, as we've gotten the next generation of iPod, they get a little bit faster, right? They get the wisdom, the technology, and now they have the ability to create a new iPod. They even call them first gen, second gen, third gen. I thought that was really interesting because really we can work in very much the same way. Whenever technology changes, whenever we get the wisdom, i.e. watching this video right here, and we have the ability to make something more efficient, we can step up to the next level and have what we call next-gen productivity. Next-gen productivity is taking a little bit of time right now, investing time right now, so that you can have a lot more free time in your future. Next-gen productivity is kind of to time what compound interest is to finance, right? Where 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1028. You get 19 levels deep and you hit right over $1 million from $2, right? It's explosive growth. It's exponential. Well, that's really what next-gen productivity is, and it has 3 keys. But here's the thing. Don't watch this video and just go to the next video and really just let it go in one ear and out the other. Go to stonejordan.info, download the blueprint, follow these 3 keys in the exercise. That is what is going to add years to your life. Just watching this won't. Okay, so let's get to it. So here's the 3 keys. Let's start with the first one. The first one is automize. Anything that you can automate through technology, you're going to want to automate. A good example of this would be online bill pay, which most people do, but let's use the example. The average person, if you pay your bills manually, takes about 25 minutes a month to get all of these bills paid, whether you do it online or you send a check, 25 minutes total. If you started paying your bills at 20 years old and you paid them, let's say, to age 100 and you always did it manually, okay, that 25 minutes adds up to 19 days of your life. Now, what would you do with 19 more days? Huge. You could take that time that's completely insignificant that you're either clicking or sending out envelopes, and you could use it to be more productive, to do something that's significant and matters to you. Now, that's just one item, right? So that's automize. Another good example of that would be Amazon.com. You can actually set up groceries on a recurring schedule, so they get automatically delivered to you. I don't know if you know that, but each week or each month, you can have them delivered. You don't have to go out and get them. When you're at the supermarket, you don't have to go find them. They automatically come to you. Huge. Saves a ton of time. You want to automize anything that you can possibly automize, and the blueprint is going to give a lot of examples. I'm throwing a lot of content at you really fast, but it's going to give you those examples so you can really jog your brain and decide what is it that I can automize. And I'll give you a challenge at the end. Okay, so the first one is automize. The second one is to deputize. Now, what this really is to empower someone to do something for you, okay? So, great example would be these videos that I shoot. I don't have a script. I'm not looking at a teleprompter. I pretty much do this off the top of my head. I mean, I review before I do it, but I have nothing in text. So, what I do is I have my assistant transcribe these videos so that I have the information for later if I want it. Now, you may be saying, well, that's great. I don't have an assistant. There's lots of places you can go online to have a virtual assistant extremely cheap. Fiverr, Fiverr.com is a great example. For $5, you can have somebody do just about anything. And that's really a good way to start to kind of get used to delegating and having someone do something for you and then moving up. But there's all kinds of things you can delegate. Again, I have lots of examples in the blueprint that'll hopefully jog your mind a little bit. So number 1 is automize, number 2 is deputize, and number 3, and probably the most important, is ritualize, okay? Making something a habit. Now, it takes roughly 35 to 40 days to make something a habit, but you start by having a fairly specific time and a fairly specific method or ritual to whatever it is you're doing. For me, the last 30 minutes of my day is spent in planning for the next day. The last 30 minutes is planned, and the first 30 minutes is planned of my day. Those are both rituals. I'd like you to consider reading your Bible at the end of every day. I have a good friend who actually puts their Bible on their pillow so that it's the last thing they see when they go to bed. They read their Bible. That becomes a ritual after 35 to 40 days. There's lots of things you can ritualize. You can ritualize your workout. You can ritualize your planning for the day. You can ritualize eating healthy meals throughout the day. There's a lot of science that says we only have so much willpower, and we'll probably go into that in another video, but that's kind of a side benefit of ritualizing, is that it doesn't really take much willpower once the ball is rolling down the hill. So, if you do these three things, and you do the challenge I'm getting ready to give you, it will add years to your life of significant time. It'll take time from the mundane tasks that aren't really that important and give you back lots of significant time. So here's your challenge. Monday and Tuesday of this week, what I want you to do is I want you to actually make the time, to invest the time to say, what can I automize this week? And I want you to plan those things that you can automize. Go ahead and get it done through technology, whatever it is. Wednesday and Thursday, I want you to use both of those days to look at your schedules and your actions, your tasks, and determine what is it that I can deputize, okay? What can I empower someone else to do or delegate to someone else? And I actually want you to do it with a task so that you get some momentum going, okay? Do it with a simple task. Then on Friday and Saturday, I want you to ritualize. Now, you should write down the things you want to ritualize, but my advice to you would be to choose one thing to ritualize, maybe two at the most, so that you don't get overwhelmed. But choose at least one thing you want to ritualize, give it a specific time each day, and roughly a specific same method each day, so that it can become ritual after about 35 to 40 days. Okay, if you do that challenge, if you stick to it, and you go through that for the whole week, I can promise you're going to save years off of your life for the things that are most important. And that's what it's really all about. You know, it's about being able to use the parts of us that make us unique and that contribute to the people around us and to our world. Do that this week. I wish you the very best. Have a purposeful and productive week. Thank you so much, and take care.